Hello, today we're going to answer the question, can you save money on your computer by cutting down your PSU? And the reason why I want to make this video is because it's a common question most people have, especially when they're trying to get the most for their computer. And I'm going to give you a couple scenarios, some couple bit of information, and also a bunch of other tips on how you can save money on your computer build rather than cutting your PSU, because let me just be straight up honest with you, this thing puts power to everything, and if this surges, if this has any problems, if this puts out too much, you automatically ruin all your other parts, and you really can't, you ruin everything else. And yes, you may have put a lot of money in your graphics card, you may have moved more money into your graphics card, but here you are looking at something that pretty much makes or breaks your system, and if it breaks, you're screwed because everything in your system will go. So let's start off with a few different things I like to talk about. Number one, power supplies, they're not that expensive, and if you're really that tight on money, get a hard drive disk. They're like a 1 TB hard drive disk, that's all you need. My basic outlook on PC building is that you always should have the ability to upgrade. Don't put yourself in a situation where you A, endanger your other parts, and B, you don't buy something and then have to buy something else later on to replace it. Get something that you can add on. So for example, RAM's a good one. Now obviously I don't say that single channel memory is not the best way to go about things, but getting one stick of RAM and then leaving that second slot open for when you save up enough money to get that other stick of RAM is a great way to put off that cost a little bit later and get something that's much more important, which is the power supply in my personal opinion. I mean, yes, there's graphics card that makes or breaks, and I mean, cases are kind of important, not really, but the RAM is something you can easily upgrade without having to worry about, having to take out, like, for example, the biggest one is the problem is the graphics card. If, I'm going to save money, I'm going to get a 1050 or maybe like a 1070. That's a good wage. And then save up for the 1080 Ti. Well, now you have a 1070, and used graphics cards and processors are one of those things that are not necessarily profitable out in the market. You're not going to make any of that money back, let alone they lose half their value, especially after crypto crashed. So you're not really going to be making that money back up, and you're kind of wasting money. So my logic is get the best processor you want, get the graphics card you want, and then everything in between that you can add on to later or ability to upgrade easily without having to replace it, you save that for later. And that basically gives you a, yes, a working computer, but you also have the ability to add on like hard drives, SSDs, all that stuff later. Don't worry yourself about doing that the first time you're building your computer, because yes, make sure you have enough storage that you're going to be able to use, but all that stuff is very cheap relatively to add on to, and you don't put yourself in a situation where you have extra parts that you will no longer need when you upgrade, just because that's a hassle of selling them, all that stuff. You just save yourself a lot of hassle from doing that. So I hope this answers somebody's questions out there. That's why I'm making these last couple videos. The reason why I'm also making these videos is so when people ask me these kind of questions, instead of me typing out a whole paragraph on why I feel like this is you shouldn't be doing something this way, I just send them the video, and that's kind of a lot easier than typing it out. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, of course, give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you around. Of course, goodbye.